believe it or not, we've reached number 50 in our countdown.
So we had to sit down.
Of the one, we did have to take a rest. We've got 50 games behind us. We've got another 49 in front of us.
Right.
And right now, I think appropriately enough, we're talking about a game that was built right here in Vancouver, British Columbia. Yeah. It is Homeworld from our good friends at Relic Entertainment.
Yep.
This is real-time strategy. One of the things that I love about this game is the incredible fiction that they built around it.
It was beautiful, and I remember Alex Garden, who was the founder of Relic and kind of the visionary behind this idea, behind this concept. Obviously, he worked with an incredible art team. I met him at a Sierra party ages ago because Sierra
published this,
Sierra published this thing, and before he even introduced himself to me, he came up and told me about this spaghetti ball that was going to be in space. At the end of this exhausting pitch that he gave me, I said, who are you? What's your name? He didn't even introduce himself. Yeah. He just like went into it,
you know? Excited.
But I thought that was awesome. He was very young when he came up with this. He was in his early 20s, I think. And it was an extraordinary piece of work because nobody had ever conceived or imagined a real-time strategy game quite like this before, where you could move around in full 3D space, you could look at your ships any way that you want, and you could kind of use capital ships and use little fighter ships and send them off into combat, and it was really like all of these little sequences that we've seen in sci-fi movies like Star Wars or whatever, where you'd have commanders looking at computer simulations of the battle before them. This is what you were able to do. You were able to command all of your squad and watch them play out the battles before you in this real-time spaghetti ball, and it was beautiful.
This is one of those games that I think for some, maybe it's because it's a PC game,
Yeah.
and maybe because it is considered to be a niche work. You know, I mean, it is a genre that doesn't appeal to everybody.
No, it's also hallowed ground as well. This was so remarkable and so ahead of its time, and that's why it's so high up on our list.
But it almost enjoys like a legendary
Yes,
status.
it does,
you know,
for sure.
People are still to this day, even though this was made back in 1999, they're like, played any Homeworld lately?
I know.
We played some Homeworld.
Well, and Total Annihilation was kind of similar as well. This was also when real-time strategy wasn't really made in 3D back in those days. This was, you know, early polygonal shapes and things like that, and thinking about strategy in three-dimensional terms was a big deal. And you could zoom right out and see just these little specks of this battle going on. There was also another sort of heightened sort of overview map. So much detail, so much complexity with the storytelling and the beautiful music. It was a tour de force. It was an absolutely breathtaking piece of art, this game.
Ready for orders.
You know, I just got word from our producer. We have a review of this game. Let's go through the looking glass.
My favorite real-time... Hold on a sec, they're asking me for...
What? I can't...
My favorite real-time strategy game ever, of all time, Homeworld for the PC. You're controlling spaceships that are cooler than anything you've ever seen in Battlestar Galactica, anything you've seen in Star Wars. You can zoom out on the camera and you can watch this enormous space battle take place with hundreds and hundreds of ships. And then you can go and zoom in on that camera and get up tight on any ship you want, and you can be right behind that ship's perspective.
If you like this kind of game, you will love this game. It's the best one I've ever seen in this genre. Now, that being said, I freaking hate these kind of games. Oh my God, they bore the skulls off of me. People might say, well, you shouldn't review games if you don't like them. And I say this, I say baloney, I should, because I am a people's man.
And you float like a butterfly and sting like a bee.
But the reality is that these games are freaking boring.
No, they're
my God.
The control and interface for Homeworld is completely revolutionary. It is going to change the way that you play these games. The aesthetics, the presentation, the world
the
that they
music's
created,
amazing. The sound effects are amazing. Don't get me wrong.
It's an incredible,
I just hate
epic
this
space
kind of
battle.
game.
I give it 9.5 out of 10. What'd you give this game?
I mean, I'd have to give it a 5.
Boy, your little buddy there seemed kind of angry and upset.
Homeworld was not for him.
Yeah, not for him.
No, he didn't really dig on the RTS type stuff.
Understood.
So one of the things that's interesting with Homeworld is that the rights to the franchise have been picked up by Gearbox in the fire sale in the aftermath of THQ. So we'll see if Homeworld comes back. I hope it does.
But you know what, my friend? Congratulations to Homeworld and to Relic Entertainment. You are number 50 in our countdown of the greatest video games of all time.